everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at Etrailer. Since different bike racks fit different vehicles differently, today we're going to focus on how the Hollywood Rack's Crosstrack 2 bike rack fits on the 2023 Nissan Kicks. This is going to be a smaller vehicle with a hitch that's a little bit closer to the ground. So with our kit here today that includes a ramp, in all honesty, you may or may not need it. But the owner of this car is carrying around a heavier electric bike, so he was pretty interested in a ramp option, and you might be too. So focusing in on this bike rack, the way this works is you have a carrier, carries around 2 bikes loaded up onto your car. You do have a 66-pound weight capacity. Now, with some of the functions of this rack with this car, you also get the ability to tilt the whole rack away. So if you needed access into your hatch, maybe you have things stored in here. Or maybe you're a type of person that likes to switch out your shoes because of your pedal style. This is a way you can do so without having to take your bikes off. Now, because of the easy to load method of that dual wheel mount of this rack, if you didn't even take your bike off, it's no big deal. The way this holds onto your bike is you have your front and your rear wheel mounts. In order to move this down, you just press on this lever, that releases this, and you can bring this all the way down to the ground. Now, I like to start with that front mount simply because I like to use this with the ramp. So this would be the time when you would set up your ramp, which would then fit into the tray, just like that, and then you can ramp your bike down. So loosening the other wheel mount, we're just gonna roll this down very easily. If you have a 66-pound bike, you can imagine how much easier it is to just ramp the bike versus having to lift it. Now, what types of bikes can this rack carry? Well, when you look in at the tray, you'll see the different types of widths, as well as your chock for your front wheel. So everything works together so that even though you have just the front and the rear wheel cradle, this part over here, you have a strong and secure fit around your bikes. Now this ramp, you can then turn the knob and then bring down to a much more compact position, making it easier to store inside your vehicle. So if you own a Nissan Kicks, you understand how much storage is at a premium, which also adds to how much space does this bike rack take up. Well, with this 2-bike version, what I like to do is I like to measure from the bumper to the end of the rack, which would be about right over there. That measures at 35 inches or almost 3 feet. And the thing with that is if you have a small garage, you need to park into a tight spot, since you have such a small vehicle, you have plenty of room to spare. Next measurement I do is ground clearance, and this is where it gets a little trickier for the Kicks. End of the rack to the ground, 19 inches. And that's a pretty good ground clearance. It means that even though the hitch on the Kick sits closer to the ground, this sits high up where you go over steep inclines, speed bumps, things like that. You're not bottoming out. But you're also not too high up where it becomes unwieldy or bulky to load your bikes up. But also, that's what the ramp is for, to help you out. For some people, I wouldn't even suggest using the ramp just because you could ramp the bike up and on yourself, but having the ramp is a nice extra function for those heavier bikes. Now what you can also do is you can move this into the compact position. This angle over here, you are able to open up your hatch door. Helpful for if you're putting away groceries and you still have your bike rack behind you. Bring it all the way up is going to be our more compact position. So measuring from where we measured earlier to the end of the rack, that now measures at 10 inches. So big difference compared to earlier when we had this down. Plenty of space between the bike rack and the car. This is what it's going to look like for the people or the vehicles behind you. Notice the height of the rack, full visibility of your rear window and of your taillights. Unfortunately, it does cover our license plate, and our backup camera sits right over there where that bracket is. So with all that in mind, I think this looks really good on the car. Some people look at the 2-bike version or the single bike version. They both work the same way. I know the Nissan Kicks has different hitch options, so the trailer hitch receiver on the vehicle. The good news is that the Crosstrack is available in an 1.25" or a 2" shank option. So whichever hitch you have on your Kicks, if you're looking for a bike rack that's easy to load, has really good weight capacity, easy to use, and can come with a ramp, you don't have to get the ramp. You can get the bike racks and get the ramp later, or get it all together right here at Etrailer. If you have any questions at any point, maybe you're looking for a 4-bike carrier, or you need something that's a little bit smaller, reach out to us here at Etrailer and we'll find the fit for you. But today, this was a look at the Hollywood Racks Crosstrack 2-bike platform rack on the 2023 Nissan Kicks.